We're starting in Quarry Bay at an office furniture company that prides itself on providing sustainable solutions to its clients. Let's check in with Joyce to kick us off.
These days, we're all looking for ways to live more sustainably. Thing is, no matter what walk of life you come from, there's bound to be a way you can contribute to your community. And there's always people looking for that helping hand. Today, we're talking to a few people from the corporate world that's taken the lead to connect with local communities to make a difference. Let's see how they do this. Pam, can you tell me more about the business and the inspiration behind it?
The inspiration came about from 30 years of experience in this industry, where we have been involved in the supply and installation of furniture. But there's this massive gap in the market for what happens after it's reached its life cycle use. So what we decided to do was explore our sphere of influence and what we could really do in a meaningful way to repurpose and reuse the furniture that often goes into landfill. And to give you an idea, over 1.25 million tons went into landfill in 2021.
Wow, that's a
lot.
lot.
So there's a huge amount that goes into landfill. And this is a massive industry. This is a $550 billion industry globally. So we need to address the furniture crisis and the furniture waste crisis. As you can see, looking around us, this is just a very, very small snapshot of some furniture that we've managed to save from going into landfill. Many of these items are practically brand new.
Yeah, they look very new.
So we can very easily take these items from a site and repair them, fix them, clean them, and manage to get them back out into the market where they can be donated to NGOs, schools, universities, and other small businesses who may not have the funding to buy new.
Essentially give them a second life.
Exactly. Every project starts with an inventory compilation. So we go to site and we thoroughly check all of the furniture and we create a digital inventory list. Once we have that list, we then work with the client to tailor a plan of reuse and redistribution to determine what can be donated, what can be reused by the company, what could be given to their staff, and then anything else that needs to be repurposed or recycled. At the end of that whole process, we compile all of the information, all of the data into a really thorough report that gives the client landfill diversion rates, as well as carbon emission savings, and all the other information that clients may need for ESG reports or other LEED certification. Exactly. So it's a very, very powerful tool, not just for any ESG reporting, but also for PR, marketing, internal, external engagement.
So what's the kind of impact that you're trying to create here?
Ultimately, we want this to be the new normal, to be very frank. We want this to be integrated into every part of a project. So anytime a client moves or renovates, there is always an aspect of reuse and redistribution that's built into a project where the norm is not just to throw everything away.
So this is like circular economy, right?
Exactly. The whole purpose of a circular economy is to reduce the use of natural virgin resources, to recycle as much as possible by giving things a new life, and ultimately reduce the cost. If we can reuse and keep things in use for as long as possible, we're ultimately reducing the cost of furniture.
So how do you think the situation in Hong Kong is, and how does that affect your business?
I mean, Hong Kong is a very prosperous city. It's a world city. There's a lot of business that happens in Hong Kong. But the side effect of our prosperity is that there is a huge waste of furniture. So we're constantly growing, but with that economic growth, it means more and more furniture is just getting purchased and dumped every year. So our business is trying to integrate a sustainable model and a sustainable approach to this growth rather than the traditional way of just buy, use, and dispose.
We have been having some discussion with governments and other businesses. Basically, we work towards the government waste reduction targets and also the 2050 carbon climate action plan. So basically, we work with government departments, also other businesses, NGOs, civil societies, to create a circular economy in Hong Kong. and also reducing waste and keeping things in use either here or within the GBA.
How do you think this kind of government support influences your own initiative here?
I think the framework of the 2050 carbon neutral target give us and other businesses, clients a lot of pressure in finding the ways to reduce their own carbon footprint. And so it encourages us, like everyone, just to find ways to reduce waste.
It's like a motivation as well, right?
Motivation, and also companies do have their own targets, especially with the regulatory requirements from Hong Kong EX or other international bodies. And the thing is that we're trying to grow the circular business in Hong Kong. So it's really trying to get the users, trying to get the businesses to value the assets instead of just like, oh, we're done with it, just chuck it into the landfill. Just value the item, value the resources that was put in producing it.
Give them another life, extend it.
Yeah, exactly.
So how would you define the success of this initiative?
People just change their usual practices when they start in procuring product. Just think again whether we need that. When you choose an item, can you choose something that have lower carbon footprint, designed for recycle, designed for reuse? That's the very beginning, and that helps a lot in the later stage. And coming towards the end of life, consider to reuse it yourself, and then see whether anyone that you can help, donate to an NGO or send it to a second-hand market. There's a lot of room for the local second-hand market to grow, and there's a lot of support needed, and changing people's behavior, changing the culture and using pre-used, pre-owned items is
And hopefully more and more people will adapt to this approach and like to use things, recycle things, and give them an extended life. So could you share with us one of the projects that you've worked on?
So a few months back, we got to work with a public-funded secondary school, and we relocated office furniture from a financial institution to the school. So now the students got to sit on some high-quality checked task chairs. Also, we got them some electronic items and tables. This means like the school got to save money in it, and then these can be redirected into improving learning environment and also get new software.
So in terms of logistics, how did you actually get the furniture to there?
So we first approached AISIA. Howard is very helpful from that. And then we work with him to understand the school needs, demands, and what's the school design for the space. And then later on, we identified the suitable items from our project. Our furniture team went in to do a condition check and deep clean, and we arranged a full refurbish and full checked before the items were delivered to the AI lab.
What a great way to give back to the community. I can only imagine what this does for students and their schooling experience. Looks like Joyce made it over there to find out more.
So Jerry, as a student, what do you think about the workshop renovation?
在装修之前呢，这间教室是一个很普通的电脑教室，学生都是一字排开的形式来做的。在分组讨论的时候呢，就会发现第一个位到对面那个位置的同学呢是很难交流的，而且很难就是一起合作做手工。但是装修之后呢，我们的教室由一字排开的形式改为了围在一起做，就是以小组的形式来排列。每个小组都有每个小组的电脑，还有屏幕，可以一起面对面的向对方展示自己的想法，还有自己做完的成果。我们可以将我们的成果分享给我们的屏幕上面。
So apart from giving you a more comfortable and better learning environment, how do you think using these recycled furniture has inspired you?
这让我明白了那些原本他们是不想要的东西，但是在我们教室用了之后，我才发现，其实这些原本他们觉得没有用或者不想要的东西呢，没想到我们用起来其实很舒适也很方便。这让我想到，如果我在外面呢，如果看到有一些没人要的凳子，我也可以拿回去进行改装，可以在桌子上面增加一个扶手，还有或者是可以放一个杯子、手机支架，甚至是个折叠桌，可以让我更加方便起来。
And that's the beauty of recycling.